After dedicating his win to his dad who passed away. This woman's gonna make fun of him. We're really building a pretty big case against this woman. Especially a kid. Like, kids' basic job is to learn and waste their time. That's like what kids do. I got arrested for stealing when I was 12. So he's already doing a hell of a lot better than I did, you know? We shouldn't have these damn Brit bongers commenting on American excellence. This is American excellence. As a mother, you would say that. What is your 13-year-old accomplishing that's better than this? Huh? He is the best. He's not just some kid playing Tetris. He is the best player of Tetris. And that I'm just a programmer, and she'd be like, oh, that's a good thing, that'd be a life goal. I don't have to go outside to be a programmer. I gotta sit around all damn day. Anything that came out after me is fake and not real and should be... I'm scared of it, I don't understand it, therefore it's dumb. Today I'm looking at a video by Pegasus called She Bullied a Kid for Playing Tetris. The Internet Destroyed Her. So I don't expect that there's going to be a ton of disagreement from me here. Mostly just want to maybe have some laughs at some jokes that people are saying. And maybe, you know, just make fun of this woman for telling a kid that he's not allowed to play video games and he needs to go outside. I thought this might be a good counterbalance to what we talked about yesterday, where your real life goals need to take place over your video game goals, where this kid actually set a goal to beat Tetris, the first time it's ever been beaten, and he got it. And he's getting a lot of recognition, and nice things seem to be coming from it. So I thought this was a nice story to counterbalance what happened yesterday. Well, we've got a woman who doesn't think so. So let's listen to it a little bit, shall we? Well, let's jump into it.
This woman just made fun of a kid on national TV. All right, so the story goes that this news...
I will immediately pause. I do find it odd when people actually, like, adults insult children. That is... Even if they're, like... I might understand if you're just like, oh, like, you're just saying, oh, they're dumb kids, the kids do dumb things, stuff like that. That's fine. But, like, if you're, like, insulting a child for, like, their interests, or they did an accomplishment in a video game, you're just like, oh, like, if you're actually, like, insulting them for stuff like that, yeah, that's cringe. That's definitely what people would call cringe. I understand just kind of saying, like, kids are gonna do dumb things or whatever. That's fine. Kids are dumb. You can make fun of kids as a group, but, like, insulting an individual kid is, weird. So already not off to a great start for this woman.
News anchor for Sky News, which is like a British news source, was covering a story about a kid who was just playing some Tetris. Turns out he's no ordinary kid, he's actually a god gamer, because he actually ended up beating the game of Tetris.
Yeah, I watched a video on this a couple days ago. I sent it to one of my buddies who's really into Tetris. He was the first person to beat Tetris. It was a pretty interesting story. Yeah, he was able to, quote-unquote, beat Tetris. Originally, Tetris was thought not to be beatable. But then, what basically happened was somebody discovered a new way. Apparently, once Tetris, like, base Tetris, I don't know, I think they're playing on, like, SNES or NES or something like that. I don't know which version of Tetris a lot of these tournaments are talking about. But this is talking about, like, OG Tetris for, I believe it's the SNES, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know that I've ever played the original Tetris. I think I've only played, like, other versions of it. But anyway, there's a version of Tetris which once you get to, like, level 30 something, I want to say, it's so fast that, like, you kind of have to get lucky, and it's really hard to actually move the pieces because it's too fast. Somebody figured out a new technique where they, like, roll their hands. I can't remember exactly what the technique is. I'm not a huge Tetris player. But they, like, roll their hands so that they're able to move the pieces fast enough to actually get this. So somebody figured out that a couple years ago, and then later, people started, like, getting further and further into the game, where eventually it started repeating colors, and eventually the problem came to where the colors were actually your hindrance. But anyway, they come up with a couple names for them, and they're like colors where you can't even really see the difference. So I think the one that they're showing here is one of the color schemes that ends up happening. This is a bug because the game runs out of memory. But there's colors where you can't even really see the difference of pieces. Or at least it's very hard to do it. So people started getting through that, and they started getting further and further, and eventually they discovered... I may have missed a step there, but eventually they discovered there's a bug where you'll basically make the game crash once you get to a certain point. There's a way that you can play the pieces and make the game crash. So that's effectively what this kid did. He got farther than anybody ever had. There's a couple of different combinations you'll need to do. I think they figured this out through like an AI was playing it or something like that. I don't know the full story of it, but that's the basics. Or I don't remember the full story of it, rather. So eventually they figured out there's a couple ways to make the game crash. He tried to do the earliest time that you could make the game crash because you got too far. And I think he missed a couple of times, but he ended up getting it eventually. So he didn't quite get the earliest crash, I don't think, but he got like one shortly after that. So that's the story. So this kid has like been winning tournaments and stuff, and he's out there. He's the first person to ever beat Tetris. And I want to say he's like 10 or 11 or something like that. Well, he's probably older than that. I don't remember how old he is, but he's a kid. So that's the basics of the story. I think this dude covers it a little bit, but he doesn't give quite the details that I did.
Now, if you don't know Tetris lore or you don't keep up with the gaming scene, basically Tetris was considered impossible to beat by a human being. Now, if you're an artificial intelligence specifically created to beat the game, sure, then it was possible, but a human being had not beat the game since it was created in 1984. So this is an absolutely huge deal, and the fact that a 13-year-old has accomplished this task is absolutely freaking insane. It's a huge deal in the gaming community. So, what did this news anchor respond with? Well, this news anchor essentially reacted in the worst way possible. She basically told this 13-year-old kid to go outside, touch some grass, and stop wasting his life.
Yes, be more like Markiplier, touch some grass. I guess, yeah. Is Markiplier known for touching grass? Isn't he a Let's Player? I don't know if you're being more like Markiplier by going outside. I know, it's just a fun meme, but... yeah, so she's telling this kid to touch some grass after becoming basically internet famous for beating Tetris. So it's an interesting take.
It's actually insane. Here's a clip from his stream.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So he totally made the game crash. I don't remember exactly. There's a whole spreadsheet apparently that you can see on how he managed to do it. Yeah, made the game crash because it got too far, so he won.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes!
Yeah, that's a good reaction from the kid.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Let's get a round of applause for him. Yeah, this doesn't mean anything.
I'm gonna pass out.
Okay, so he is absolutely freaking out, hyperventilating over there, and understandably, he probably put an ungodly amount of time and effort into playing this video game, so he definitely deserves
Yes, but we learned yesterday that you're supposed to put 0 time into playing video games because it doesn't mean anything, it's all pointless garbage. We did learn that.
it. Okay, congratulations. Willis dedicated his win to his dad, Adam Gibson, who passed away December 14 this year at age 39.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really sad. And this woman's gonna make fun of him. After dedicating his win to his dad, who passed away. This woman's gonna make fun of him. We're really building a pretty big case against this woman. Okay.
Willis is the absolute GOAT, bro. Alrighty, here we have the tweet by Dexerto. A news anchor has been called out after diminishing the accomplishment of a 13-year-old beating Tetris, telling him to go outside and that beating the game isn't a life goal.
Beating the game isn't a life goal. Yeah, this is just such a narrow-minded view that people have, I think. If we all agree that the point of life is to enjoy yourselves, which I don't really... I mean, that's such a basal point. I don't see how anybody could disagree with that, right? Because, like, if you say, like, no, it's not to enjoy yourself, it's to, like, further the species of humanity. I'm like, why? Why the f*** would we care about humanity or something like that? It's to produce offspring, or it's find meaning. I'm like, yeah, but that's all enjoyment, right? That all ends up being enjoyment. So if this guy, especially a kid, who doesn't need to be, like, starting businesses or paying bills, like, I assume he doesn't have bills. If he found meaning and a goal here to beat this... So yeah, if this kid found a real good goal to do, and he has the determination and the will to do it, like, why wouldn't we celebrate that? Right? Especially a kid. Like, kids' basic job is to learn and waste their time. That's, like, what kids do. So, like, why should he be going after his life goals at 13 years old? This is an incredible... He's accomplished way more than I did when I was 13. What was I doing when I was 13? Well, I got arrested for stealing when I was 12. So he's already doing a hell of a lot better than I did, you know? I did okay in school for the most part, but... like, why are we pinning this kid... pinning a life goal on this kid? Yeah, this is absolutely just, like, insanity. I don't know why this kid needs to be getting life goals. First of all, adults, if they have a goal, like a goal and a hobby that they have, that's totally fine. Like, I don't know why we'd be admonishing adults for going after such a hard goal. Do we admonish, like, Lance Armstrong for... Well, actually, I guess Lance Armstrong's a bad one because he actually got to... Let's see. Do we admonish Michael Phelps for being, like, the most awarded Olympian ever? Of course not. Like, that's considered a life goal. So if an adult wanted to be the best damn Tetris player on the face of the earth, like, what's the biggest difference between him and, like, an athlete who we clearly don't admonish? There isn't one. I don't see... Maybe the only difference you could say is just like, well, Tetris... Being incredibly good at Tetris isn't as easily monetizable as being an Olympic athlete. The best Olympic athlete to ever live. Which is probably true. I don't know that it'll always be true. But it is probably true right now. The kid's probably going to be rolling in dough. Like, I don't know how well his streams or whatever are doing. But the kid's got his name out there. And he's, like, going to tournaments and shit. So, like, he's doing better than any 13-year-old I know. But, like, what is the difference? Like, even if you say, like, okay, well, being the most awarded Olympian ever is a more monetizable. Like, why is money the be-all and end-all? Wouldn't happiness be the be-all and end-all? And yes, to an extent, money can buy happiness. But, like, it should be the be-all and end-all, right? So I don't... This is just... It's stupid on so many levels to say this. Hopefully Pegasus agrees with us.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten, because it just goes...
It's still... I do want to clarify, because people are... The definition of beaten here is that he got further than anybody had before and caused the game to crash. The game was... he could not progress anymore. So that's their definition of beaten here. Which is totally fine. I think that's a fine definition. I just want that to be clear because it's not beaten in the, like, classic sense. Where you roll credits on a video game. It's beaten in that it's just like, well, it's supposed to be endless, but we found an end to it. Because of how... It's specifically because of how far the game goes. Like, I don't know if Tetris can... It's not like every time, like, if I cause Elden Ring to crash, it's not like I beat it. But Tetris specifically is beaten because it cannot possibly go further because of how far it got. That's the important point here.
On and on.
Oh my god! Oh.
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has
And he's American, too. Let's show some of that pride for America. We shouldn't have these damn Brit bongers commenting on American excellence. This is American excellence, okay? And I don't want them commenting on it and putting down us Americans. We fought a whole damn war for them to f off, okay? Don't put us down. Try again.
technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks.
Yeah, that's basically true. The only addendum to that is that I believe you can do it. You can do it further into the game. You can actually still get further. You can actually cause this to happen sooner, I think, than he did, but you can actually also get further.
As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air.
As a mother, you would say that. What is your 13-year-old accomplishing that's better than this? Huh? Why is this such a bad thing? I would be proud of any if I have a record-setting 13-year-old, an actual world record-setting 13-year-old, who is literally actually making money off of his game streaming, I would absolutely encourage this. The kid is currently the best Tetris player ever. Why would you not encourage your child, who is already the best at something, to not continue to try to be the best at it? Clearly there's a future in it. And if you think he can't turn that into something more than just Tetris streaming, you're insane. Obviously he can. The kid is like a legend. I don't know, that's so narrow-minded. Video games are just, I don't know. If you're really good at a video game, it's just not valued in our society. Which, a lot of times, it doesn't... If I'm really good at, like... I keep using skiing as the example, because I think it's a good example, because, like, rich people do it. Like, people, like, appreciate if you're really good at skiing. If I'm just okay at skiing, what the f do I get from that? Nothing. I just get the enjoyment of skiing. This kid is the best at Tetris. Literally no one's better than him right now. Literally no one. So why are we discouraging like this? Doesn't make any sense.
Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, that's...
What's a life goal? Getting on Sky News? Like, he's the best. He's the best at Tetris. #1. No one is better than him. He's, like, famous now. He's more famous than me. I heard of him before I heard of you. I don't know. She's probably rich and successful or whatever. But what's a better life goal?
Let's get a look at the weather.
Shut up, bitch!
Oh yeah, beating the game isn't a life goal. Not like
I don't think I recovered my runes that time, did I?
is 13 years old and is not even thinking about that type of stuff. He's just a kid playing some Tetris, man. Why you gotta pick on him like this? It's not cool. Now I know that's...
Well, not even just that. He is the best. He's not just some kid playing Tetris. He is the best player of Tetris.
Some of my audience might think this is completely dumb because, like, who cares about Tetris, right? But it's actually a really big deal and it's really hard to accomplish. And the fact that just the time frame tells you how...
Yeah, how long has Tetris been out? Friggin' 40 years? And this is the first time anyone was able to do it? And it was actually, like, a community effort to do this, right? The strats have evolved as a community, and every time someone discovered a new strat, it became like the meta.
How hard it is because from 1984 to 2024, nobody has done it, okay? So it's a definitely 1 in a million type of guy. I feel...
Yeah, so yeah, 40 years. 40 years it took to beat this. And this woman is like, that's not a life goal. That's a better life goal than... Seeing as how, especially he did it, That's a better life goal than damn near, like, anybody I know. This kid is way cool. He's way more successful than me. Like, I don't... What the hell is she talking about? And I'm just a programmer. I guarantee she would be like, oh yeah, that's okay. Like, that's totally a good life goal. Is it just because it's unrealistic? It's not. It's because it's video games. That's why she hates it. It's not considered real life, even though he is, in real life, the only one to do it. And the best Tetris player. He is that in real life.
Feel like the response to this is completely unjustified, telling a 13-year-old kid to just go outside as if he wasn't working on.
Yeah, also, a lot of life goals that she'd probably be okay with don't involve going outside. I guarantee she would be okay with my lifestyle, and that I'm just a programmer, and she'd be like, oh, that's a good thing to be a life goal. I don't have to go outside to be a programmer. I gotta sit around all damn day. This dude's a way better Tetris player than I am a programmer, right? The determination this kid had to have in order to do this is astounding. I am not nearly that determined. If you think that doesn't translate to other life skills, you got another thing coming. I don't see how you could possibly believe that.
On something really meaningful is really cringe, because you wouldn't be saying this to, I don't know, a 13-year-old who won a competition for tennis.
Right. So, like, if their kid was, like, a football player, say it was the quarterback, because the quarterback's the most important football player, and they won, like, the middle school state championships or whatever. Whatever 13-year-old, I believe 13-year-olds would be in middle school, right? They won middle school state champs in football. Would you be saying that's not a real-life goal? Almost nobody makes it into the NFL, right? That's incredibly hard to make it into the NFL. Do they not have a real-life goal then?
Or won a competition for football or something like that, right? Because he's
hey, that's what
sports,
I said.
He's outside or whatever. What you gotta understand is that people have different hobbies. People have different things they put their time into. And every single thing, okay, most things, okay?
I don't even... Encouraging hobbies is totally fine. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to encourage somebody to have a hobby. But not only does this kid have a hobby, he is the best. The absolute best. How many people do you know who played Tetris? Millions. Tetris is one of the best-selling games of all time. This kid is the best at Tetris. He's won multiple tournaments. He's streaming, live streaming to thousands of people. Well, I don't know if it's thousands. Probably, it's at least thousands of people have seen that clip. This video has 1.2 million views, so now 1.2 million people have seen that clip. But this kid is the best at Tetris, and this woman is just like, this is not a real life goal. Insanity. Let's just think about, like, what kind of skills it takes to be the best at Tetris. It takes an incredible amount of determination, because lots of people are trying to do this. There's Tetris tournaments all over the damn place. It takes an incredible amount of creativity, because you got to figure out the new strats in order to get further and further than people. People are always trying different strats in Tetris. That's how the rolling thing came about. It takes an incredible amount of reaction time, which would be useful everywhere. So it takes an incredible amount of hand-eye coordination. So that's obviously useful in a bunch of different contexts. Sports would be one that it could be useful in. Programming is one because you type without looking and like that. So hand-eye coordination is important. I don't know. It takes so much more than just I play video games to be really good at Tetris.
I'm not gonna say like drugs or whatever is extremely valuable, but okay, most things are pretty valuable over here, okay? And if he gets entertainment from it, what's the freaking problem?
Especially a 13-year-old. Entertainment is good for everybody, but especially a 13-year-old getting entertainment from this harmless hobby and then being the absolute best at it. He's making a career. He's making an absolute career out of playing Tetris now.
I'm tired of these boomers going like, video games suck, go outside. Shut the hell up. You haven't known joy in your entire goddamn life, have you? And the thing is, you're supposed to be a professional news reporter. You're supposed to just report the news, not insert your opinion that absolutely nobody asked for.
Yeah. Is she supposed to not have any opinion on the news ever? Maybe. I don't know what kind of show she's running. Op-eds are a thing. So it's totally fine to insert your opinion where appropriate. I do think that there's a worrying amount of people saying that something is news when it's just their opinion, or just their reading on something. I would agree with him there. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what kind of, how this newscast was like classified, I guess. Like, if it actually was just supposed to be straight news or opinion.
And call this kid a loser, basically. Now, later on in the video...
Yeah, and... I mean, she didn't say loser, but obviously having no life goals makes you a loser, I guess. But, like, he's, like, definitionally not a loser. The kid is awesome. I love this kid. It's such a cool story. I don't know why anybody would on it.
Video will talk about the CEO of Classic Tetris World Championship actually responding to this, and I'm pretty sure he made his day with this response. But first off, let's check out people's responses, because this is the fun part, you know, getting roasting people on Twitter. He's 13, Lamau life goal. Kid's life barely started, as I said.
Yep, that's a good point. A kid's life barely started. I didn't have any life goals when I was 13. This kid has already accomplished more than I probably ever will. No reason to go on him. Absolutely based comment.
Said, imagine having to talk down about a literal kid just to make yourself feel better. As a viewer...
Yeah, I don't know if she's trying to make herself feel better. I'm sure she feels pretty secure in what she's saying. Or in who she is, I would guess. She's probably a successful woman. But she should feel bad about her parenting skills if she thinks that kids should not set goals like this.
Viewer, I would tell her to go outside, and that telling other people what their life goal should be isn't a life goal.
Yes, that is an excellent comeback. Telling what people should do or what their life goals should be is absolutely not a life goal. I would be really interested to hear her position. What is a good life goal? If being the best, if being the Michael Phelps of Tetris is not a good life goal, what is?
Goal. And that's just how it should be, because people are on different paths, and you might think that gaming is completely useless, that gaming is a waste of time or whatever, but people use it for a variety of things. For example, gaming is a form of escapism, just the way you might be watching TV shows.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Gaming is a form of escapism. This kid wasn't even using it as that. He's using it as like a form of competition, right? Which we normally celebrate. Like, we celebrate competition in so many other different ways. Like I said, the Olympics is just the best one. It's like, what person in their right mind would discourage a kid? Like, the reason you discourage somebody from trying to be an Olympian is because it's so hard that you don't think they have a chance, right? That's why you discourage them. If the kid has a chance at it, you encourage it. Well, especially a 13-year-old. Dude, like, if my 13-year-old says he wants to be a Olympic swimmer, oh, I'm encouraging that. I'm like, yeah, do it, dude. You're 13. Now's the time to just try. You're 13 years old. If we're going to make you an Olympian, we got to start right now, my dude. So if that's what you want, let's go do it. So this dude's a damn Olympian Tetris player. And you're going to say you don't encourage them. I think you start discouraging trying to be the best Tetris player when they're 30 years old. They're me, right? They don't have a good paying job. They're not able to pay their bills and shit like that, right? I am successful in my job. I make good money at what I do. So I don't know if it would make sense to discourage me from trying to be the best Tetris player until it starts negatively affecting other aspects of my life, right? This kid doesn't have responsibilities. Right? Even if he did, as long as he's taking care of them, who the f cares?
Shows, just the way you might be going outside, hanging out with your friends or whatever. Some people like playing video games, okay? And they might even be playing them with friends, they might even be playing them alone, or they just like the achievement aspect of it.
Yeah, there is, as we learned yesterday, there might be something to be said about, like, if you entirely replace the achievement aspect of it, like, you don't achieve things that would better yourself in another way, then only doing video games is not good. But that doesn't mean you can't set goals for video games. As long as you have other shit in your life in order, set goals in video games. This kid, honestly, at this point, given his skill level, I would tell this kid, I'd be like, no, you don't need to focus on other goals right now. Like, this is the thing. Like, you're special. You're legitimately special. Keep doing this, right? So his achievement isn't even like a gamer score achievement. It's a literal, just like real life, I'm the best. So that argument doesn't even work. If you're saying like, oh yeah, like video game achievements are replacements for like bettering yourself or like getting a career or getting girlfriends or whatever, that argument falls apart because he's the best in the real life. If you think that won't impress some girls, or you think that won't translate to like a good job opportunities or anything like that, the kid can just stream on Twitch because he's the best. If you think people don't want to watch the best Tetris player play Tetris, you're insane. Of course they do.
And that's perfectly fine. I hate the sort of demonizing of things that are not like normal. I mean, I feel like gaming is very, very normalized now, but obviously
that's also that too. It's like, it's surprising to me that she wouldn't know that people make their livelihoods off playing games. Professional game players, the people who are the best, like winners of Evo, that's what they do. They just stream fighting games. You know? They become like online personalities. He's set up to be very successful. So even if you modify his goal to be like, oh, you gotta be successful in life, monetarily, he's set up to do that better than most kids. Like, he's more likely to be a successful streamer than any kid is to be... Well, not any kid, but then most kids are to be successful at anything else. Because he's already the best. He already did the thing that, like, you should be encouraging. He did the thing.
obviously these people are still living in the T-Rex age, and they're probably half convinced that a meteor is gonna wipe them out or something. For a 13-year-old, this is the best feeling ever. By the way,
not only is it the best feeling, it should be the best feeling for the parent. You should be proud that your kid accomplished their goals, especially one so hard. Like, if I was a parent, I'd be proud that my kid just completed passes or something in football, you know? If my kid won like a gold medal at Tetris, or I don't know, he just like won first prize in like a art competition in school or something, of course you'd be proud of them. Even small like school competitions, a spelling bee. Would you not be proud for your kid to be gold medal in a spelling bee? Of course you would. Because even if they're not going to make money off of being the best speller in the entire world for the rest of their life, which this kid absolutely is going to make money off being the best Tetris player, even if they're not going to make money off spelling, that it is encouraging them to compete, to try hard at something, to determination, to learn, you know, to be a good competitor, to be gracious in defeat and victory. There's lots of valuable lessons in this stuff. So yeah, it's just really crazy to me that we would discourage the competition, especially when he's the best. You can't say there's like a dead end or something. You can't be like, oh, this kid like wants to be the best at Tetris, but he just can't figure it out at all. He's been doing it for years and years and he just can't figure it out. He figured it out better than anybody. There's no, like, oh no, I think it's unlikely for him to do it. He already did it. He won. He did it.
This person's name is Anime Lover. I'm sure this news host will have something to say about anime as well here. The funny thing is that on this anchor's Twitter page, she reposted a story about a teenager who plays darts, which is also indoors. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Not a life goal, but made it onto the news for an accomplishment a 13-year-old made. I don't know, that sounds like the fruits of accomplishing your goals, lol.
So yeah, so she supported somebody who was really good at darts, apparently, which is, yeah, you don't have to go outside to play darts. Probably wouldn't fit or shouldn't fit her description of a life goal any more than Tetris would be. Like, what would be the major advantage to being really good at darts versus being good at Tetris? I can't think of one. So if she's really impressed by that kid who, like, I think I saw the clips of that kid too. A really impressive darts player. Like a 16-year-old. I don't know. Did he say it? Doesn't matter. What's the major advantage of being good at darts? What makes that a life goal, whereas being good at Tetris is not? It's just the video game stigma, right? It's not like the skills, the dexterity in darts is going to transfer to every single career that you would want to do, right? Just like all your skills in Tetris won't always transfer, but you still learn a lot of very valuable things by doing it. Absolute laser hating on an 18-year-old for accomplishing something she'll never be able to do. That's true. That's true. There's no reason to just hate on other people's accomplishments, man. Especially not a 13-year-old.
And I will say, getting on national news as a 13-year-old is a hard thing to do, okay? When I was 13, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was just really stupid. I was playing a bunch of video games or whatever, but I was in Tetris World Champion.
Yeah, when I was 13, what games was I playing? I don't know, Grand Theft Auto? Need for Speed? I can tell you I wasn't anywhere near champion at Need for Speed. What a loser. Yes, he is a loser. You would know, dude. You tried and failed to be the best at AVA, so you're a loser. You're a wrecked nerd. I was good, though. You were pretty good. Yeah, you were very good. But this kid is the best. He's the best. And adults are yelling at you. This woman should be yelling at you. AVA isn't even popular. Why would you even try to get good at that? You know? Get good at something cool like Tetris. Not good enough. Being the best is not good enough. That's true. Absolutely true. Because I was young and very stupid. I'm old and stupid. Yes. But you're still pretty good at shooting games. You're better than me. See? See? His skills at Tetris are going to transfer just like your skills at AVA are transferring to, I don't know, what the you play? It transfers to Apex Legends. Yeah. I would bet, I mentioned this yesterday, but I would bet mildly doxing Pyro. Well, Pyro plays poker professionally. I would bet some of the competitive you learned from trying to be the best at AVA has helped you try to be the best at poker. I would bet that. There's no way it hasn't. You're at least able to talk better, right?
Over here. I didn't do something that millions and millions of people could.
520 million. This dude is the best at 500 out of 520 million players. Even if we just put that down to like people who play, like what's the number of people who play? Let's just say it's 100,000 people play Tetris competitively. Not a professional level, but they like will do tournaments and try to chase leaderboards or something like that. Let's just say it's 100,000. If you are one in 100,000, the best of 100,000 people, that's an insane accomplishment.
Couldn't do, okay? He's 13, what do you want him to do? Cure cancer? Probably, that's sort of the expectations we're setting up.
Curing cancer would be impossible for a 13-year-old, but this kid has the determination to do it. You know? He doesn't say no to a challenge. You know? I don't know if he has the brains to do it, but he's got the determination and the sheer will. Just like John Wick. He's a man of, I think it was, what? Determination and sheer will. That's what this kid is. He's the John Wick of Tetris. And that absolutely transfers to other aspects of his life. And it's a perfectly fine goal for him to have.
on kids these days. I don't know. And that attitude is why she reads news instead of making it, oh, we're just...
Yeah. Is reading news a life goal? It's incredibly unlikely that you'll make it. She did. Good for her. But, like, what's the likelihood that you'll make it as, like, a famous news journalist or newscaster or whatever? Pretty little, right? This kid already did the thing at 13. You weren't a famous newscaster at 13, were you? Makes no sense. No sense at all.
We're just burning people now, huh? News hosts when kids are having fun with video games. No, you must go outside. Go play outside. Like, I hate the fact she's like, as a mother, as if this kid's mother has somehow failed him by letting him play Tetris for a couple hours. Jesus Christ. Well, so...
Oh, it's not Tetris for a couple hours. The kid has thousands and thousands of hours in the Tetris. But he's also making tons of friends off of doing this. There's videos of him, like, at tournaments and which are pretty social, like real life tournaments, not just online things. So he's out there socializing and everything. So even the go outside argument, unless you're literally just like, I need you to experience the sun, like he's gaining a lot of the advantages of like a social activity from this, and he's streaming it, which is reasonably social. At least if you have viewers, streaming can be very social. I don't have viewers, so streaming isn't a social thing for me. Oh, I've got 2 right now. Hello, guys. We're socializing. This is very social.
Someone's clearly never experienced the satisfaction of clearing 4 rows at once in Tetris. Maybe the news anchors should try it for themselves before they come for the 13-year-old Tetris champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a... I don't know that that's... I know it's... we're all just memeing on Twitter, I get it. But, like... Yeah, there's a satisfaction in clearing 4 rows of Tetris. But we don't need to start hounding her because she doesn't play Tetris, right? You know? Let everybody live their lives, you know?
And fire her ASAP. Okay, so here we have a games journalist talking about this situation.
Fire her ASAP is not a good burn. I don't know why he highlighted that. It's not a good burn. It's lame. Chelsea definitely doesn't need to be fired for this. Come on. Be reasonable. Be reasonable on X, formerly known as Twitter. Be reasonable.
It is the year of our Lord 2024, and Sky News is still telling people who play video games to go outside and get some fresh air. Notably, on the same day, they're praising a 16-year-old darts player.
Yeah, that is really stupid. What would be the major difference between being really good at darts versus being really good at Tetris? Like, why would that be okay while Tetris is not? I don't know. Like, this kid also knows a deep amount about game design now, right? You have to know the ins and outs of Tetris and game design in order to beat it like that, right? Tetris is one of the greatest games ever. I would argue Tetris is the greatest game of all time. It's not my favorite, but I would argue it's the greatest. And this kid knows it better than anyone. You have to, in order to actually make it crash, I mean, he did a... I think, I don't know if he's the one who figured out how to make it crash, but you have to know about programming and memory management like that in order for it to make sense, right? So the kid's learning like pattern recognition. He's learning about programming, logic. You know, these things, it's not nothing. Like, what are the reasons that a lot of people get into programming? It's because they play games. You know? It's one of the reasons that people think that, women aren't as into programming now is because they weren't encouraged to play games when they were younger, which just teaches you a bunch of problem solving like that, and it actually directly applies to programming a lot of the time.
Player. So basically, in another story, they were talking about a 16-year-old darts player, and I don't really understand this.
Well, that kid is terrible because he's 16. Okay, that's like almost an adult. Do something real with your life. Come on now, let's put him down. Tetris is cool. Darts is lame. We gotta go to a bar and throw darts. Darts is dangerous, too. Put that down. That's sharp. Sharp object. Come on. Like, how stupid does that sound? At least the Tetris kid is being safe. No sharp objects involved in Tetris.
disconnect here where you can praise a 16-year-old darts player but not praise a 13-year-old for accomplishing something very impressive in Tetris, because I would think in their like sort of ancient boomer brain that those classify in the same category, like that's a game and that's a game as well.
No, the problem is video game. They view darts as way more of like a it's like a real thing because it existed when she was a kid. So that's why it doesn't connect the same way. Anything that came out after is fake. Anything that came out after me is fake and not real. It should be... I'm scared of it. I don't understand it. Therefore, it's dumb. She understands darts. She's probably played darts. She doesn't understand Tetris because she hasn't played Tetris. She doesn't understand video games because she doesn't play them. She's been to bars and played darts with people. She would say the same thing about like pool and like that. If you wanted to be a pool champion, she'd be okay with it. Or maybe she wouldn't be okay with it from a mom's perspective, but she at least wouldn't admonish it on national television. Because Tetris is 40 years old, but it's still new and scary. Okay. I don't know how old that woman is, but yeah, video games in general, being good at video games, and that meaning something is new and scary.
Obviously, it's a different type of game, you know, you're actually moving your arms or whatever. Maybe they consider that athletic.
That's big athleticism. That's big athleticism throwing that. You know? And athleticism is very useful. Definitely thumb dexterity isn't useful anymore. It's not like we use our hands all the damn time to interact with computers.
Or something, but it's
There it
pretty
is.
much in the same ballpark here, so I don't know why one would be okay and why one wouldn't. But in any case, I think
It's literally just video games haven't existed as long, therefore they're pointless and stupid. That's all it is.
anyone who does significant achievements should be praised and not chastised on national TV. Would just add that I'm seeing some abusive comments being directed at the reporter. By all means, criticize her, but please rise above anything abusive, mainly because it's, but also because it does your cause no favors. Yeah, I don't think anyone.
Yeah, I mean, don't be... I don't know what exactly they mean by abusive, but yeah, make fun of her for being stupid and boomer brained or whatever. That's totally fine. But if you're like threatening her or something, I don't think calling him stupid would be bad either. You can totally call her stupid. I'm not sure what the line on abusive is. But yeah, don't threaten her. Don't try to dox her. Well, I guess don't try to find where she lives or something. Be nice, you know? Be nice in your insults.
Witch hunting is helpful here. This is easily the stupidest comment. Darts is more athletic than esports. At least that kid was standing up.
There's no way the dexterity required, the thumb dexterity, there's no way that is less than darts. There's no way. I can't make my hands move to do that, I bet. I can't do that rolling.
What are you on about? Maybe this kid actually exercises. Maybe he goes outside. But for getting the record,
The kid also didn't look fat or unhealthy in any way. I'm not a doctor, but it looks like he's probably got his together in most things. It just looks like a nerdy little kid, which is totally fine. You know, I looked like a nerdy little kid. It's okay. It's all right. But that nerdy little kid is the best at Tetris. The best.
I will admit that he probably spends a lot of time on Tetris, okay? Unless he's a natural born genius or whatever. So he probably spends a significant amount of time, maybe 6 to 8 hours a day or something, playing Tetris, maybe even more. That's fine. If he's passionate about something, sure.
Not only is it fine, it's good. Because he's done what nobody's done before.
But you don't know what he's doing in this in the rest of his free time. He might be going outside. He might be hanging out with friends. Why do you gotta judge him as this basement dwelling person over here just because he got the
Even if he did dwell in a basement, that's fine. He's 13 years old. It's okay. He's being more useful than any other 13. He's more useful to society than any 13-year-old I've ever met. Absolutely. Absolutely more useful. Without question. And he's accomplished more than what she did, what I did. He's an exceptional individual. Absolutely exceptional.
Tetris world record or something here. Goes home and plays Candy Crush in bed. And that's what I hate about these situations, okay? By the way, her demographic is...
That's true. It's totally fine if she plays Candy Crush in bed. But would she view that as just like a complete waste of time? That she shouldn't be doing that? I think it's fine. But I'd be curious on her thoughts about it.
Is actually the leading player
censored
base
me.
of Candy Crush, so probably.
Stop being like racist and sexist in my chat. Huh? How about that? I didn't set up any censor rules, so according to YouTube, you are racist and or sexist. You're just generally bigoted and hurtful. So I don't make the rules. YouTube makes them.
Most likely. But also, she probably has tons of hobbies by herself as well, where she is not like gaming, but she's doing other things which would...
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out, my mom is into quilting. So I'm just gonna assume this woman is into quilting. Is it a waste of time for her to do that? She's not the best at quilting. I'm gonna bet that she's not. Is that not a life goal to be good at quilting? Is that bad? You're not gonna be a millionaire off making quilts. Is that bad? Would you insult my mom for making quilting? I bet this woman plays tennis, or I bet she does some sport in her free time, you know? Was that not a life goal of hers?
be considered wastes of time as well, whether it be watching TV shows or art, singing, everything. We only have one life and there's a million things you can do, and I think it's better to, you know, let people do what they want instead of being a judgmental prick on TV. Two things to dissect here. There are kids with YouTube channels that make 100 times what she makes playing video.
That's true. I mean, I don't know if it's 100 times, but there are definitely kids who just sit there and play video games on YouTube, make tons and tons of money. This kid is probably going to start making a good amount of money, way more money I made at 13, because he's the best Tetris player ever.
Video games. Interesting mantra coming from someone who, and people might not believe this, watch her show on the exact same device that she's telling gamers to evade.
Interesting mantra coming from someone who, and people might have, watch her show on the exact same device she's telling gamers to evade. I do not understand what that means. Are you just saying watch her show on like an Xbox or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say video games are a waste of...
Yeah, I don't understand the device comment. I don't know what that means. I don't think she's telling them to avoid electronic devices. Right? Like, that doesn't seem to be her point there. Yeah, I really don't get what the second point that Martin Moore made there. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Maybe I'm too stupid because I play too many video games. That could be true.
Time. It's a form of escapism, and while I don't think most people are going to become either YouTubers or live streamers or professional gamers and turn it into a monetary career, I still feel like it's completely fine to do. So
yeah, as long as you're not neglecting other responsibilities you have in your life, gaming is totally fine, totally healthy. It can be very addictive, so you gotta watch out for that, but, you know, just make sure you're covering all your bases. You should be fine. It's really that simple. As with all things, take it in moderation if you can. A lot of games are made so that you don't take it in moderation. You just gotta be careful. Check it out.
his name is Willis Gibson, if you wanted to check him out or whatever.
Shout out to Willis Gibson. Big shout out. You the homie. You the homie. As a successful person myself, but not a newscaster, I say, keep following your dreams. You don't need to listen to this woman. It's okay.
Whatever, he just goes by the streamer named Blue Scooty. And this
Blue
is what
Scooty. Give me a shout out. You had 9,000 subscribers? Give me a shout out, Blue Scooty. Come on. Be a bro. Be a dude. I'm a nobody. Literally nobody knows who I am. This kid is more important than I am. So Blue Scooty, give me a shout out. You're better than me. Okay? Help her brother out.
prominent person in the space said, "This is unbelievable." Vince Clementi.
So he has 9,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know how much his live streams get, but I'm guessing it's going to be something. 9,000 is nothing to shake at on YouTube. You can definitely start making money on YouTube there. So I think the requirement for making money on YouTube is 500 subscribers and then 4,000 watch hours in a year. So kid's probably making some bucks. I highly doubt he's out there just getting censored all the time, so he's probably monetized as long as he knows how to do that, which I'm sure he does. Seems like a really smart kid. He's effectively just got himself a job, you know? Good for him. And if it's growing, keep at it.
TCO of Classic Tetris World Championship told Routers, developers didn't think any...
That's Reuters. I've never known anyone who said that as Routers, but it's Reuters.
one would ever make it that far, and now the game has officially been beaten by a human being. This is surpassing human limits over here. Now, when the developers don't even think that you can beat the...
Yeah, to be fair to the developers, just a little bit. There isn't an end to Tetris. It's just a programming thing and the limitations of the hardware. I believe you could actually... I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think if you run Tetris on modern hardware, you can actually get past where he got to. I think so. I could be completely wrong about that. But I believe that is the case.
The game, that's when you know it's an absolutely insane f***ing ordeal, insane challenge, okay? Previously, only an artificial intelligence computer program had beaten Tetris.
This dude is as smart as AI. Okay? The kid is as smart as AI.
Tetris, as I said. Willis employs a rolling controller technique popularized in 2021 that allows a player to manipulate the D-pad at least 20 times per second to move the block.
Yeah. That's really... It took somebody... How long is that? 1984, so it's 40, so 37 years to figure that out? That technique? Insane. That's a huge thing. I know this kid didn't figure out that technique, but God, that just tells you how crazy Tetris is, man. People are still figuring out new later. 37 years later, they figured out a new thing, and it took. After that, it took 3 years, just about, to actually beat it. After we figured that out. Insane.
Far more than the previously popular hypercapping method. It is also the best-selling video game of all time with 520 million copies sold. So
yeah, it's the best-selling game of all time, and this kid is the best at it. Insane that you would have insult him for that. Absolutely insane.
the amount of people that have actually played Tetris and been exposed to Tetris is absolutely insane. I've definitely played it tons of times, and I absolutely suck at it, especially on the airplane when I can't even focus when the goddamn air pressure is getting to me, dog. Jesus Christ. She must issue an apology for...
Okay. Sorry that you can't focus on the airplane. I haven't had that problem.
Expressing personal views during the news bulletin. I think they are allowed to have like personal opinions or whatever, but I think definitely in the next news broadcast, she should issue an apology to the kid and say, hey, I'm sorry, you know, sorry for calling you out like that. And next time, you know, just don't act so superior, so stuck up, stop putting on...
I agree. She probably should. It would be a nice gesture from her.
Other people down, and it's okay to see other people having fun, okay? You don't need to be such a goddamn Twitter user. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys are excited for 2024. I'm gonna be pumping out these videos.
I am excited for 2024. You're gonna be pumping out videos. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was that. That was the kid who's don't want to play anything.
What's up, everyone?
Nope, I don't even know what this is. Tekken 8 director rejects woke agenda and feminist rage over Stellar Blade's sexy model. Okay. Apparently that's that. Apparently I need to watch Endemi on TV. But yeah, so how was that? Kid is dope. She shouldn't rag on him like that. Woman is dumb for doing that. It's okay. It's okay to play video games, guys. That's what we learned this whole weekend. It's okay to play video games. You know, people tell you it's not. It's okay. This kid is fucking top of the world because of this. You know? He's gonna be making good money on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. He's already got tons of followers. He's famous. This dude's making him even more famous. He's gonna get shouted out. He's doing good. Yeah, if you want to be the best at Tetris, go do that. Go beat this kid's record. Go be the best. Go beat it. I think the next thing people are trying to do is to see how far they can get without running into the glitch. I think that's one of the next things people are trying to do. So if you want to do that, especially if you're a 13-year-old, you want to make that your thing, go do it, dude. Follow your dreams, man. Follow your dreams. I'm gonna finish there. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. It's been fun. I learned a little bit. Like, subscribe, all that. Stay tuned for some stuff coming out probably this week. Looks like And then I'll be streaming next weekend, I hope, as well. So it's been fun, but I'll see y'all on the next one.